Florida and Washington. Well, that was a game. We have a series. Look, Washington's done their job. It's 1-1 heading back home to Washington, but that is not a confidence booster when you get absolutely shellacked by the Florida Panthers 5-on-5. So let's talk about it. Hey, if you're new to this channel, head over to our sponsor, BetUS. 125% deposit bonus for American or Canadian residents above the age of majority for their first time to bet on the Panthers or the Washington Capitals. You go ahead and choose. Also, if you want to join the conversation with me, link up with us on our Discord. The link's down below. I'd love to hear from you, Panther fan and Washington Capital fans, as this series goes. We have over 90 people in the Discord right now. We'll all chat from all different types of teams, all different types of areas. We want to hear from you. Story of this game is so cut and dry. It is not going to warrant a long video. I'll be honest. The speed and the youth of the Florida Panthers 5-on-5 wins the game. Hard stop. Look, Washington last game played the perfect game. They created muck. They created confusion as well. Florida didn't have that swagger. Well, Washington came out very strong this game. They dominated the first half of the first period, in my opinion. Bobrovsky stands on his head. The man's on the case. He always is. So Detective Bob plays another back-to-back great game. And if he keeps this up, Florida definitely has a great chance for a Stanley Cup. We said one of the biggest holes for the Panthers going into the Stanley Cup Finals is going to be how Bobrovsky plays. So good news for the Panthers. That's two that he's done very well. Unfortunately for Bobrovsky, the one goal that Washington gets, yes, it is on a power play goal, comes from an absolutely terrible angle. You can forgive it in a loss, but like, come on, man, $10 million a year, get your shit together. Now, when I say the youthful exuberance and skill the Florida Panthers wins this game, there's nothing you can do if Florida is just going to shrug off the muck and make perfect tape-to-tape passes and move the puck the way Florida is known to move the puck. This is why they're the best scoring team in the NHL. When you have as much skill as the Florida Panthers do and you utilize it down all four lines like Florida does, plus their defensemen, you can't stop it. The puck moves faster than the man. If the passes are perfect and you have enough skill, there isn't a defensive structure on earth that can go ahead and slow this down. And at the end of the day, when I look at all five of the Panthers' goals, it was just elite talent and elite playmaking and elite passing. It was just Florida hockey. It was unstoppable. So that is really the analysis. Washington has to find a way to get Florida off their game, to break up those passes, to get them nervous about it, to get them thinking about footsteps in the back of their head. But if Florida is going to shrug it off and not worry about that and just play their game, they are going to make those tape-to-tape crisp passes and they are going to win. The other ironic thing about this game for Florida is, like, come on, boys, like, score the power play already. Like, it's ridiculous. You're the best scoring team in the NHL. Your power play was number 5 to 7, depending on what time in the year. It just feels like both of them should be dominant, especially when you're looking at Florida, but it was anything but dominant tonight. They went for a big goose egg again. You're going to have to get that better. But again, Florida fan is going to shrug this off and go, hey man, we won. We looked great. This could be a 5-game series. We called Florida in 6. I said Washington's going to muck this up quite a lot. So a 1-1 series split. The prediction is coming true. We said one of the worries of Washington going into this series would be the goalie controversy. So Vaneck gets the net. He doesn't play the way Vaneck played last game. I don't think you should let him off the hook. I mean, at the end of the day, 2 goals end up going in on 6 shots, but the first goal that went in is a ridiculous bouncer. It looked like a Super Bowl, right? So Aaron Ekblad ends up scoring that. We break down goals and plays on this channel. There's nothing to break down there. It's a bouncing puck. This is the definition of throw something on net and see what happens. So Vaneck can't be blamed. There's no way you're going to stop that. But the ironic thing about this game for Florida is, like, they didn't have a lot of chances on their first, like, bunch of goals. They got a lot of chances at the end of the third, so the shot count and everything went up. Their statistics ended up going out, but they were really efficient. At one point in time during this game, they had 3 goals and they had a 25% scoring conversion rate. Like, wow, unbelievable. So that's Florida hockey for you. The second goal, I mean, what do you want me to break down? We'll go ahead. We'll go to the screen here, but there's not a whole ton you're going to break down on this goal. That's because this is Huberdeau and Barkov just doing Huberdeau and Barkov things. I mean, Huberdeau is coming in at the top of your screen. Barkov is down below working with their line mate. At the end of the day, I mean, this is outnumbered. This is a 3-on-2 in the corner. But what are you going to do when it's Barkov? Look at that beautiful little bump out. So they go ahead, they create what we call an overload down low. So when you have 3 players down low, we call this an overload. This is turning into a cycle. So they bump it up here to Jonathan Huberdeau. And I mean, look at that move. There was no no room there at all. Nifty little move by Huberdeau. He's able to carry it in. Cross check in front of the net. Again, we're still in a 3-on-2, but Barkov and Huberdeau are two of the most elite playmakers in the league, elite scorers. They're deadly. Huberdeau makes another great move. This is why I do not like defensemen that lay down. This was not a good play. This is what happens when you're playing against elite talent, though. You make desperate plays. You should have stuck with Barkov on this one. You got to trust Vaneck to be able to stop this shot. It's a difficult shot to stop if you get out of the way, especially giving Huberdeau that kind of room, but you got to make the best choice you can, and when you go down, you take yourself out of the play. So I'm never a fan of defensemen sliding down. I'm never a fan of defensemen leaving their man, and he leaves Barkov, but Huberdeau moves around him like it was nothing. This is why laying down stinks, and when you have the talent of Huberdeau, he finds Barkov. Beauty, baby. That's Florida Panther hockey if I've ever seen it. We're not even going to grace Washington with their 1 goal of the game. Look at the shots on goal at this point in the second. 14-6. Blah. Again, this is the skill of the 5-on-5 Panthers. Look, they're in their own zone. Watch them go 200 feet in the blink of an eye. Look, we talk about creating 2-on-1s all the time. Well, here is a 2-on-1. Yes, you have a player over here, but when you have these two down here looking at a guy who has his back, we talk about it. Backs and bobbles. You see it back. There's the numbers. You're going to pressure, and as soon as you pressure here, you're going to cause an amazing turnover, and this is going to lead to a good scoring chance. Don't ever forget, great defense leads to great offense. 2-on-1s in full display. Florida's able to pick up the puck. And now what we're talking about here, Florida fan, is we're talking about the transition game. You've turned the puck over, you're on offense. And look, immediately, as soon as Florida has the puck, you see 5 guys stick up hard strides in perfect skating position. There's no gliding, there's nothing. There's 5 quick strides. We're getting up the ice. Not a lot of teams do this well. It is an underrated skill. People think everybody would do this. It's obvious. It's not. It's absolutely not. When they see it and they smell blood, they're like a shark. They want to go and score. It takes 5 seconds for Florida to carry that puck up the ice. We're at 16:53 here. The Capitals back in. This is a 5-on-2 at this point. This is scary. There's nothing else you can do. You have to back in if you're the Capitals. I give the Capitals a lot of credit here for gap. Look, this is 2 stick lengths worth of gap away. That's actually pretty good considering this scenario. I would have expected the gap to be a lot more, but you're going to get caught flat-footed. Go ahead, bump it to the left, kid. Why wouldn't you do it? Now we call this the attack diamond. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the top of the diamond is here. So maybe it makes a bat wing, but the shape is technically a diamond. Activating defensemen are your best friend. You always want to make sure you have someone drive the mid lane, and that's what you're going to see here. It's going to end up falling in over to here, and then you see we're here on top. This is the space you want to go. So when we call it attacking with 4, you always need a defenseman to be taking this spot and joining the rush in the modern NHL. That's why you're seeing so many points out of defensemen these days. And here's the Florida skill on full display. 1 pass, 2 pass, boom. Like, this is right on the tape. You cannot defend this. If you're going to move a puck this well forward, there is nothing to defend. Perfect passing. They end up walking in. Bingo, bango. They find the 5-hole. 3-0. Deadliest 5-on-5 team in the league. If you want to see speed, hey, take a look at this forecheck here. They cause massive amounts of pressure, forcing that turnover. I love the time and space that they end up taking away by pressuring the forward. And because of the speed of the Florida Panthers, look at them close that gap. Unbelievable. They forced the pass up the wall. The gap is closed. Now you know they're going to transition onto offense soon as they have confidence in that puck. When Florida has swagger, when they have their own puck, they're looking up ice to score every time. Doesn't matter if it's in the offensive zone or defensive zone. This is the transition game. It doesn't matter where you're transitioning, offensive zone, neutral zone, D zone. As soon as you go from defense to offense that quickly, look at this beautiful 2-on-1. Everything is a one touch. You're not going to stop that. Bam, 4-1. It just got worse from there, making it 5-1. It's just basically a Florida Panther highlight reel at this point. Caps fans, there's nothing bad I can say your team did. Look, you want to knock Vaneck? Sure, you can. He had to be pulled at the end of the day, but I mean, what do you want the guy to do? These are ridiculous goals. Your team has to not turn the puck over. Your team has to create 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s all over the ice. If you're going to let Florida create those 2-on-1s, they are going to kill you on transition all day, every day. They'll kill any team in the league on transition 5-on-5. That is just the way it goes. So can Washington, going back home to Washington, find a way to disrupt this Florida confidence? If Florida's going to play with that type of confidence, that type of speed, I don't know what you can do, because you're just going to end up getting outskilled at that point. But we've seen Washington do it in game 1. Washington's already done their job. They split the series. So we'll see you guys for game 3.